Hi there. Hey, I think I found one that can wink, but only with one eye. Yeah, only with the one eye. The other one, I guess they just don't figure you know how to wink with your left eye or something. Look at that, they're prejudiced. Right eye in favor of left-eyed people. Oh well. Now, overall, you guys know I am or tend to be a very positive person or being or energy flow. And I'm happy with that. But this one is about fear. You know why? Because our fear is the thing that most stands in our way, that which most prevents us from ascending. We've got all kinds of fears tucked away, hidden in there. And it just came to me recently that a lot of times I counsel people to go in heart where there's no fear. And this could easily be misunderstood by the mind, not by the heart, but by the mind. So now, this guy's supposed to be a genie. He looks kind of evil to me, though. That's why I haven't used him before. But let's get over all of our fears, every one of them. Who knows? Maybe we've even incarnated as a demon like this, or a genie, or whatever it is. A being. Let's just call it a being. You know, everything that is, it's all one, no matter what. Even scary guys like this wrestler. Maybe you've got some fear of being harmed, being physically harmed. And so this guy could represent that fear for you. And you'd look negatively upon him. You know, just because he looks like he does and he acts like he does, or play acts, who knows? Anyway, fear is largely what's in the way of our ascending. Now, believe it or not, a lot of folks are scared of little things, little bitty things like bugs and spiders and that kind of thing. And you know, that's not such an unreasonable fear when you get down to it, because the lowly mosquito has killed far more people than any and all wars ever dreamed of doing. You could probably add up all the deaths that ever were, and the mosquito would come out on top as the deliverer of that. So we have all kinds of things that put us in fear. And now I'm going to move over into, now these are called avatars. And I'm going to move over to face accessories. So you're going to see my mug here in a minute. And my space isn't all that neat. And you know what? I'm just not too worried about that. Okay, so maybe we're worried about needing gas masks to survive in this place. You know, we're destroying our oxygen. We're tearing down the trees. Oh, honey, you've got so many fears tucked and hidden away. It's amazing. So what about that? Or how about the fear of your evil other half, huh? Have you considered that you're running away from that? Kind of hard to do when it's you. Yoo-hoo! Of course, there's the fear of witchcraft and that kind of evil, or maybe the bad guys it calls in, you know, and then you have to deal with them. Boo-hoo. Or maybe of being harmed in some way, you know, that might not be too enjoyable, but then, you know, who knows? There are people that are afraid of relationships, you know, afraid of getting too close. Isn't that a mess? But come on now, folks. If we're looking at our fears, okay, here's what I'm saying. I'm saying that when you go in heart, there's no fear. That doesn't mean fear doesn't exist anymore. That means when you're in heart, you're not in the space of fear. Okay? Fears will come. Fear, as long and to the extent that it's present in your energy field, it needs to be dealt with. That's the major thing. If anything's holding you back from ascension, it's going to be fear. Even if you find you have an anger problem, underneath anger is always fear. All right? If you've got a control problem, underneath control is always fear. You're trying to control things because you're afraid. All right? No matter what kind of negative seeming issue we look at, underneath, we're going to find fear. And so here's the deal. You don't overcome fear by ignoring it. You don't overcome fear by repressing it. You don't overcome fear by replacing it with beautiful thoughts and images. All right? How do you overcome fear? You face it. And the best position to take for this work to happen, and it's not really that you're doing it, it's doing itself. And to the extent that you're ready, you let it in. So by taking up your position in heart, you can watch the fears come and go like the waves on the ocean. And sometimes it's frankly a tsunami, you know, but nothing can knock you out of heart. Nothing can overcome you in heart. Now, these are just words. Don't be listening to the words. Be writing and reading the energy that's beneath them. Be in heart. All right? And so I did want to say and maybe correct an image I've painted, that whenever fear or anything negative comes up, you just pop yourself in heart and you're fine. You don't have to deal with it. In a lot of cases, that'll be true because what's coming up is just something floating by and it's not really real, and it's probably not your creation anyway. I'm of the opinion that mind is one and we all plug into it, and so we use the brain more as a receiving and sending antenna or station than as a repository of anything. And we're not really private. Maybe you're afraid of not being a private person and you don't like the idea that you're one with everything. I mean, our fears carry every kind of disguise. They play cloak and dagger with us. You know, there's fear of the whole vampire thing. Maybe there's fear of being robbed. Oh my God, what other kind of fears can we have? Fear of old people, fear of snakes, or fear of powerful women, you know, that incarnate that way. We may even have a fear of angels, you know, a fear of ET beings coming along. What are your fears? Well, in the end, it's a mask. You know, everything is just a seeming, and it's not really real. It's a game, it's a play, it's a charade, it's a wonderful experience being alive, just being incarnate on earth. And we're so privileged to be here. But we've been unplugged from our memories, and now that we're getting plugged back into light, memory and different things come with it. And the more light we receive, the more light enters your force field, it flushes this stuff up. And so this is what's maybe making it seem like your whole life's falling apart, or you're falling apart, or what happened, you know, you were in such a great space and now everything seems all messed up. It's all a seeming. And maybe the heart as a boat we can ride the ocean waves in. I mean, paint whatever picture you will. But I think the most constructive thing that any of us can be about doing, or seemingly doing, is turning around and facing our fears and just looking at them and just letting them be there and seeing what's underneath of that. Just watching. You don't really have to do anything about it or with it except just be with it and just watch it. And you'll be taught, you'll be tutored, you'll be shown. From the space in the heart, it's really a magical kingdom. It's a magical space. And think of it like a car wash. You know, you're going through, and you're rather dirty, so you're going to have to take several passes through. And it's stuff that's being flushed up, but it's also being flushed out. And a lot of times, I'd say the majority of the times, all that's required is the seeing. Once you see into something that's supposedly negative in the self, just seeing it a lot of times is all that it takes to heal it, to cleanse it, to make it disappear, go away. There's a heart recognition. We're not talking about seeing it from the space of mind, because that doesn't help. Mind would tend to magnify or polarize against or interact with whatever it sees. And heart is a different realm entirely. And that's just, it's a different way of being. And so I hope this has been useful. I hope it's been helpful in some way to someone. Blessings to all. Good day.